Okay, but I'm not
very
from
nice.
Shush. But I'm not.
Okay, today is the 19th December, and we spent a day working together, planting cabbage in near Moshe.
Yes, it was cabbage.
Yes. So, one question. I'll start with you. If you had to say something to yourself who was still in California, what would you say?
Well, what could I say to the people in California? I sat on a machine that was the planting machine that I've never done before, and it was an interesting experience on an assembly line that I've done when I was like maybe 19, but not this kind of an assembly line. But we were outside, and we were 4 people sitting in the cab part of the tractor and trying to keep up with planting the little seedlings. And the other thing was, when I was in the back, I was walking to check on how the planting was going, and to check on the little seedlings and to touch the earth and to help these seedlings to make sure that they survive, that they are upright, that the leaves are going to face the sun. It was an interesting experience for me to be in Israel and to be really touching the earth, the Israeli soil, and the creation, the I'm not trying to get biblical or religious or anything like that, but it was super meaningful, and it was emotionally very powerful to be helping these little plants to thrive.
Thank you.
Yep.
As for me, it's been the same, a little different, but the same experience since we got here to near Moshe. There's a saying in the States, you talk the talk or you walk the walk. And I think this is the first time in my life that I'm walking the walk. It's very easy, it's maybe not easy, but it's to look from another country like the United States and know there's a problem, you get money and your heart breaks. But this is the first time we're walking the walk. We're doing something, and I feel the same yesterday. I feel the same today, and it's very gratifying, as the bro said, to step in the fields, see the sky. You're in Israel. You're working, you're doing something positive. It's rewarding. It's a good feeling. I'm not exhilarated. I don't jump for joy, but it's a good feeling.
And the fact that it's physical work, first of all, you're not very young. I see that you're not in your 20s.
I'm 39 and I look horrible.
Okay. Okay. So you're retired, and the fear from the physical work is not very small, obviously. So how do you cope with this, and does it impact your experience of the entire trip, of whatever you do?
First of all, I think Rosie and I are not the usual people in their 70s. Because of the sports we like, we tend to be in very good shape, and we exercise regularly. So when we came here and did the physical work, it was not a strain. Matter of fact, after the first day, I felt pretty good. Doing the tomatoes and heavy work. Second day was a little exhausting. It is work, and I think because we stay in shape at home, that's just our lifestyle, it wasn't that much of a strain. As a matter of fact, today I consider it an easy day. But, that's the way we live at home. Other people our age would probably be too much. But for us, and I think the other reason we decided that we'll do agriculture is because we knew we had the strength to participate in working agriculture. We knew that It'll be hard, but we can do it. And there's different things we can do on the farm. Like today, cleaning the broccoli. And another day we do harder work. So it wasn't a problem when we made the decision.
I think the other thing too is that physical stress or physical exertion is not something that we kind of receive from or shy away from or are afraid of. I wouldn't say I was worried, but I was wondering what the actual work was going to entail. I knew it was going to be agriculture. Rachel showed us what she did, and that was similar to, the packaging. So I thought, oh, that'll be a piece of cake. But when we started doing the tomatoes, I thought, oh, I wonder how that's going to go. But it was okay.
It's a learning experience. I mean, the worst thing is you get dirty.
But what I'm saying is, aside from that, the physicality of it was not, after the end of the day, it wasn't anything that was like overwhelming. We were thinking, okay, we're not going to do this again or anything like that. We welcomed it.
It was
okay.
We do certain sports in the winter, skiing, which is not the regular skiing, which is just as strenuous. And as a matter of fact, at the end of the first day, I said, I feel like a full day of skiing. It wasn't for us overly taxing, but I was not saying to make us look good, but we are not a typical people in their 70s.
And by the way, sleeping at night, is it better, worse, the same as at home? Because it is after a full day of work,
yes,
physical work.
Yeah, it's good.
Still getting over jet lag, just a little bit. And the bombing from the Israeli artillery.
Whoa! This is
it doesn't bother me. I think it was just like thunder. A storm is coming, and you get used to it. I know that we're in no danger. So that's, so I dismiss that.
Okay, so this is going to be the last question. I can't avoid it. We hear the bombs. It's not the bombs that are landing. It is when the shells are being fired.
Outgoing. Yeah.
Yes, and it's probably like 1-2 miles from here, not more than this.
Yes, exactly.
And we hear it all the time.
Yes.
I don't know if we can hear it in the video, but how do you relate to these feelings?
It's kind of like...
or is it usual? Maybe you're used to it from home?
No, not used to it.
Not yet.
I've been asked that question before. I don't know how that came up, but it's kind of like part of the deal, package deal. It's like part of the... Rachel did tell us, don't worry, there's bombing, but it's just, the Israeli army. And there was just one time that we thought...
You can tell all your friends then when you go back and you feel it.
I know. There was one really strong one where we went to the safe room over there. But,
we thought it was pretty strong. But
the sirens have never gone.
Rosalie's phone is on the siren system.
Yeah.
So
Yair set us up on that.
The system knows where alerts here.
Yeah.
But, seeing it before we came here, seeing the bomb, seeing everything, it was not unexpected that we're going to be this close to Gaza and not hear anything. We know we're near a war zone. And as I said, we know we're not in danger. We know there's a war going on, and this is part of the war. I'm sure people who live in war zones, unfortunately, are in war, hear this all the time. And we're in a war zone.
Yes.
But this is your choice to come here.
It's our choice.
It's unlike people that were born in a
But
I
war
wouldn't
zone.
come here if you said it's incoming.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I understand. I don't know. I guess some people would be Americans would be freaked out to hear artillery shells going over. But the other thing, I don't see it, which makes a big difference. I don't have artillery outside my door, so I don't hear it. So it's just sound, and then you interpret the sound, but I don't have to see how it's made.
There are quite a few people many
What?
people in the United States who wouldn't even consider.
No, they.
I mean, just the idea of how far but I think because we have also experienced the reality here of having been here during the Intifada.
Yeah, not that we accept it.
I think that if you combine the physical work with this, you can call it challenging sport.
Yes.
An Olympic.
Yes. Yeah, all in the tomatoes.
We're second.
Oh my
We're
God.
silver and bronze.
Oh my God. Oh my God. The tomato vines. They were so heavy because they hadn't dried out.
They're about thick as bamboo.
And we had just cut them down, so they were like really thick with moisture, as opposed to the day before, they were dried out already, so it wasn't as bad.
Going back to the, like you can hear now, maybe even on it recorded, it's part of the background. That's the background. That's the soundtrack. That's the soundtrack to our experience. That was the word. Like
The soundtrack of our lives, right?
Well, we do. That's the soundtrack.
And one thought of special for this week, maybe?
No, but we have two
Feeling? One thought, one feeling, something special for this week that you
I
have.
think for me, we're here for 2 more weeks. So we realize this is the beginning, but I can see the pattern. We have those 5 days and then the Shabbat. And I like that because I don't have to look at when are we leaving? When is, usually you stay 1 or 2 weeks,
Yeah.
visit the family, you're gone.
Yeah.
But in a way, it's nice not to have to think about when we're leaving. It's just, this is our life. And that's fine. And we have family, in Israel, and we see them Shabbat, and that's a nice break.
And we're getting to know the people we are working with.
Yeah, that's okay.
More and more, and getting to know about them, and getting to talk to them, and then the volunteers. For example, yesterday, the day before, another couple, and then yesterday, somebody else. So there's always somebody new, and to talk to them, to find out about them and what was it like, October the 6th, or how are you doing now, and where are you living, and what are you doing now, because life for everybody has changed in Israel.
I just want to say, every time we've been to Israel, we stay with the family. Our experience is through the Israeli family.
Israeli
family. And this is the first time we're on our own. And we're meeting a whole bunch of people with a different experience, and it's very enlightening. I mean, it's discovering, not everybody, but a general experience of Israelis, different Israelis. It's a very learning experience where we were sort of sheltered. You go to Tzuba, you meet the family, and that's our Israel.
Yeah.
But now we know there's a whole Israel we haven't been exposed to. And that's important. I mean, you learn about the country.
Thank you. Thank you. It's been great.
But I must say again, this is the first time that we're not staying with the family. And it's a good
So the
experience.
family is coming to you.
But it's a good experience.
Thank you for coming.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming today.
We're meeting people who come here, like the other volunteers, from Israeli volunteers. So it's a different experience.
It's absolutely. You wouldn't get something like this under any other circumstances.
Yeah, it's and just finish. I know I'm not worried. I don't think you're worried about staying here with the bombs going off. It's when the walls shake, you wonder how big was that. They obviously have different howitzers. Some bigger, some smaller.
Some are from airplanes. Those are the biggest.
Yeah, that's what's shaking the wall. But during the day, I don't see planes, but I feel explosions. And I would think I would hear the planes,
right,
if they were dropping bombs. But I never see planes or hear planes.
But you know what? The other day, the day before, there was a plane that did certain pattern in the sky.
The jet came. It was making circles.
Right,
Oh, helicopter.
see it.
No, it was a jet.
No?
It was something
Jet.
like a jet because it was very high. Helicopters we have seen.
But the jet made like little circles. But yet, I have most of the time, I don't see planes. I hear explosions, but I don't see planes. So I assume it's the artillery.
Yeah, most of what we hear, all of what we heard now is artillery.
Yesterday we actually saw a huge black cloud from the direction of Gaza. I'm sure that was from the plane. because it was a big, big plane. But in a way, we're protected from the war. You hear it, you can barely. Mostly, it's hearing. It's not what. And also in Netivot, you see a lot of army trucks and soldiers. So you see that there's something going on here. But otherwise, it's just what you hear. It's not what you see.
Thank you, guys.
Okay.
It's been a great.
Yes, and you need to get